Today's video was going to be about the whole active voice versus passive voice thing, but that ended up being a whole lot of me reading examples off my computer, and that's not that much fun to watch. So let's try something different. So rather than listening to me ramble about the verb to be for 5 minutes, we're going to talk about dialogue tags. If you're writing fiction, dialogue tags are probably something you are using a lot. Yelled, muttered, whispered, and lots of says. The most common advice I've seen on this topic is to stick with the most common dialogue tag, which is of course says. He said, she said, all that fun stuff. The point is that dialogue tags aren't really supposed to be seen. You just want to skim over them so you know who it is that's speaking and keep your reader engaged in the story. You don't want to pull them too far out by having your characters yell or whisper. You just basically want to have the way they're speaking do that descriptive work for you. For the most part, I agree with this advice. I know as a reader, something that irks me or can pull me out of a story is if I'm reading a scene between two characters and they're arguing and they're both passionate about what it is they're saying, and I'm picturing it a certain way, and then all of a sudden the yelled dialogue tag is thrown in. It can throw me completely for a loop. I'm picturing the scene a certain way, and all of a sudden I have to step back and reimagine the whole thing and wonder if I was interpreting it wrong. It's a lot like character descriptions, actually. That you're reading a story and you're picturing a character as, say, a blonde, and then halfway through the book, the author mentions that the character is a brunette, and all of a sudden your entire mental image of the character is out the window. Usually it's not the author's fault, and they've already mentioned the character's hair color like 8 times, and I've just chosen to ignore it, but it has that same effect with me with dialogue tags and how I'm interpreting a scene. If that makes any sense. Did that make any sense? That's not to say there aren't a ton of places to get a little more creative with your dialogue tags. I just think it's something that's worth being aware of when you're writing conversations between 2 of your characters, or 3 of your characters, or 4 of your characters, which is when things get really crazy, but I won't get into that today. So, be aware of your dialogue tags, keep it simple when you can, or even don't be afraid to try indicating which character is speaking without using dialogue tags at all. Mix it up, keep it interesting, and keep your readers engaged.